What's up, everyone? John Rettinger from Techno Buffalo here. I've received a decent amount of questions about Sony's new PlayStation Move, particularly how it compares with Nintendo's offering, the Wii Remote. So I thought I'd put these two controllers head to head and show you what the differences are. Let's get started. Alright, so before we start talking about 3D sensors and LED lights and such, let's talk about the physical differences between these two controllers and how they feel in the hand. Obviously these two are motion sensing controllers, although they do their motion sensing a little bit differently. Nintendo connects to an infrared sensor which hooks up to your TV and in turn to the console itself, and it detects motion left, right, up, or down. It won't detect forward or back, so there's no 3D detection here. Primarily, the controllers are done via motion-based, so traditionally where you'd push a button to say jump, if you lift the controller up, that same motion would be achieved. Depending on how you're holding the controller, your button choices are actually quite limited. You've got a up, down, left, or right, sort of a traditional four-way navigation with an A button. You've got a positive or negative button, a 1 or 2, and a trigger on the back. Holding it like this, you have access to just a few buttons. Holding it more traditionally, if you're playing a classic game like on Nintendo, Super Nintendo, or the like, you have access to sort of the buttons that you may be used to with the same navigation, and the 1 or 2 which function as the A or B. With Nintendo, if you want to play a Wii game, you have to use the motion controls. You don't have an option to use a classic controller or anything else. It is exclusively motion-based. Sony's Move, on the other hand, is not exclusively motion-based. You can use a DualShock controller for most games that aren't Move exclusive, and primarily all the major releases will be Move and traditional DualShock 3 compatible. Now, Sony's controller detects motion a little bit differently. It can certainly detect left, right, up, or down, but this big rubber ball on the top houses an LED light, which speaks to the PlayStation Eye, essentially a very high-quality webcam, which is required to use the Move. And what that does is it lets it recognize 3D space. So you have full range of motion. You have a full circle, up or down, or anywhere you want to go. So you get a full, 6-axis type compatibility. The PlayStation Eye is really just a high-definition webcam with a speaker built in. It's capable of recognizing sort of high-quality 60 frames per second at 540 by 480, or 120 frames per second at 320 by 240. Now, video games are a topic that people feel very passionately about. You're really pro one camp or another. Very few people sort of straddle the lines of which console they prefer, and I am one of those. I own a PlayStation, an Xbox, and a Wii, and I appreciate them all very differently. So the Move adds a lot of sort of extra functionality. So we talked about buttons on the Wii Remote. Let's look at the buttons on the PlayStation Move. So you've got your sort of typical DualShock-esque buttons. You've got the square, the X, the triangle, the 0, select on the left, start on the right, and trigger on the back. In fact, Sony is really pushing their buttons, literally pushing the buttons, as one of the selling points of the PlayStation Move over the completely buttonless Microsoft Kinect coming out relatively soon. Now, both these controllers deliver true one-to-one motion. The Wii does require a Wii Motion Plus, which is an add-on that hooks up to the bottom, to get that true one-to-one motion. I found it to be very smooth. I really haven't had any jerky feelings with the PlayStation Move at all, whereas the Nintendo Wii without the Motion Plus, if you've ever used one, you'll know it doesn't always work as smoothly as you would like. So again, one of the nice things about the Move is you get that added functionality of the motion controls. Also, you're getting a library of games that are really more dedicated to a hardcore gamer. The Wii is targeted mostly towards party games. Certainly there are some more adult-themed games, but the majority of the catalog are deemed toward the younger demographic. Sony's done a really good job about targeting their console towards the hardcore gamer, and the Move is sort of an evolution of that. So things like God of War, you'll be able to control Kratos in a new and different way, without necessarily feeling like you are a cooking mama or managing little pets. So you get access to sort of use these controllers in a very, very new way for very adult-themed games. Certainly we've seen games on the Wii that use sort of a gun motion, but now with the PlayStation Move, we get access to that same sort of control scheme, yet in high definition. The Wii is not an HD console. PlayStation 3 is certainly leading the charge for high definition. So you get access to a ton more games, and you get to use it in sort of a new and inventive way. Now, Sony's also releasing a decent amount of party games with this as well, if that's your thing. The PlayStation Move bundle comes with a Sports Champions game, which is very similar to the Wii Sports game that we've seen in the past. Now, both controllers are not without their accessories. The Nintendo Wii has a nunchuck accessory, which gives you a bit more functionality, has some motion sensing in it as well, and the PlayStation Move has a navigation controller, which essentially brings full DualShock compatibility and controlling options to the controller. You can see it right here with its two triggers on the back. This is actually not required. You can hold, if you'd like, and you can deal with the awkwardness, a DualShock 3 controller in your left hand if you so choose. So this is actually not a requirement. But let's talk about price too, because this is actually sort of a very expensive endeavor. If you need to get the full kit to get access to PlayStation Move, meaning you need the Move controller, you need the navigation controller, and you need the PlayStation Eye, it's going to set you back about $130, which is about $70 shy of the total cost of the Nintendo Wii console itself. In addition to, of course, what the PlayStation console is going to cost you. So this is a very expensive proposition. Now, the future of the PlayStation Move is going to be determined a lot by the developers. Although the majority of developers have said they will support Move, so we will see sort of the PlayStation games that we've grown to know and love, Metal Gear Solid, God of War, and such, with Move compatibility. And something I'm really excited about. I really liked playing the Wii, I enjoyed it, but I felt like I couldn't enjoy my full catalog of games. You know, Call of Duty, like the full Call of Duty, not the sort of Wii'd-up version that I had to do on other consoles. So I'm really excited about taking my gaming enjoyment and sort of taking it into the 3D world, and not being limited to just left or right, up or down, but really sensing motion. So I'm thinking lightsaber games and such are really going to be a lot of fun. Swords and guns. We've already seen a lot of adapters that actually put this into a gun and let you use it as a trigger. So really, I'm very excited. I hope this is just a simple explanation for people. I didn't get into sort of the high-tech things that I know a lot of the hardcore gamers are looking for, but I wanted sort of an overview, a high-level, sort of look down. So what differences between these two controllers are. Particularly answer what this little ball at the top is. That's been what most of the questions have been geared to. Hope you guys enjoyed. Are you excited about the Move? Do you care or not care? Are you waiting for the Kinect? Really want to hear what you guys have to say. I am John Rettinger from Techno Buffalo, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye-bye.